So after extensive use, testing, whatever you want to call it, in the field, I have to say the thing that I probably love most about this camera is the design. This camera is truly designed to be the perfect hybrid shooter camera. I remember when I first saw the design and realized that they had put this quick little switch between photo mode, video mode, and S&Q mode that you just have to flip between in order to switch, and it makes it so easy. And as soon as I saw that there were 3 different memory modes plus manual shooting, all of a sudden all the possibilities just started appearing before my eyes, and I couldn't get more excited about all the things I could do with this. Maybe it's just me, but as a photographer and videographer, I'm someone who wants to jump into the menu as little as possible. That leads to the second thing that I really love about this camera, the different memory modes. Unlike the A7 III, which only had 2 different memory modes, the A7 IV expanded that to 3. That, paired with a manual option, allows for 4 different types of shooting, which for me is probably one of my favorite parts about this camera, and I'll tell you why, and also like how I set it up to just make my workflow super easy and fast. So to demonstrate just how easy it is to switch between all these modes, my fiance is helping me, and we're going to do a little bit of a video and demonstration of how fast we can do this. All right, so to start off with, we are going to start by taking some photos. When we're done taking photos, we're going to flip the switch to the video mode, and it will be in manual, which I have set to 24 frames per second. This is closest to what your eye is going to see, and just looks really natural. We're going to stop that and switch to video mode 1, which will be 30 frames per second, which we can slow down to 80%. Next, we'll quickly flip it to 2, which I have set to 60 frames per second 4K, which we can slow down all the way to 40% speed, which is very cinematic. Then we're going to stop that and flip it to memory mode 3, which finally we have set at 120 frames per second in 1080, and we can slow this down to 20% speed. As soon as I got this camera, all the possibilities just went in front of my eyes, and I instantly set it up to make switching between my different frame rates super easy. So how I set it up is when I switch to video mode, I've got my manual shooting mode set permanently to 24 frames per second. This is the frame rate that looks most natural to what the eye sees, and honestly, it's just a really great, beautiful frame rate to capture footage. But I also realized that in your day-to-day filming for clients, you're probably gonna also wanna have to slow down footage. So I set 1 in the video shooting mode as 30 frames per second, which allows me to slow the footage down to 80%. I use this a lot because it's not really slow motion, but it just kind of creates a little bit dreamier footage that's just a little smoother and really nice. And so I use this a lot when I'm filming for clients, and I'm just gonna have some video footage that's put to music pretty much. With the next memory mode, when I switch to 2, I've got 60 frames per second set up. So if I need to jump from that 80% speed to 40% speed, then I just switch that, I'm instantly there. And then again, one more switch to memory mode 3, and I've got 120 FPS set up where I can slow down to 20% speed. Now the secret weapon of all of this, I've got my video modes all set up in SLOG3, but if I want something a little bit easier that I don't need to go quite as intensive in color grading, I've got all my memory modes, 1, 2, and 3 in photo mode set up to HLG. So it's a semi-flat picture profile, and I don't need to go quite as intensive with editing, but I've got 30 FPS, 60 FPS, and 120 FPS all in HLG in the photo mode as well. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking around, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It definitely helps me out. My name's Kalen Charles, and if you enjoy gear reviews, photo and video tips, and tips on how to become a professional photographer and videographer, please give this channel a subscribe. I'd love to have you and bring you along on this journey that I'm on myself. We'll see you next time.